So, hello and welcome everyone. Today I am linking real life change processes to the book Exploring Strategic Change. So, one of the real life examples I have is from Microsoft. I will now explain something about the context. So, it's about Microsoft, as I said, and they were having stagnant performances, which is not very good. You always want to improve. You never want to stagnate, because if you stagnate, it means that competition is getting closer. So the second thing is there was rivalry and diversity within the company. So rivalry and diversity oftentimes cause for a negative influence on the creativity, but also a lack of employee satisfaction. So if you work in a company that has a bad organization culture, you don't really work there with satisfaction, which is bad for the results and for the company as a whole. And the last thing is that competition was heavy. So the competition for Microsoft is Google and Apple, and as you know, those are very big rivals, and if you stagnate, these companies will take over your market share. So what did they do in order to change from that current situation towards the ideal situation? So they appointed a new CEO in 2014, which is Satya Nadella, who is responsible for the change. Then they set a change goal, which was to do away with the destructive internal competition, and they also set a few common goals for all the employees of the company: to reinvent productivity and business processes, to build an intelligent cloud platform, and to create more personal computing. So I will now lay a few links with the book, and I will also further explain some things about the context of the change while I explain the links. So, as I said, there are in the first presentation there is a dimension called the end result. So the first one is transformation. So you need to fundamentally shift the business model, goals, mission, and purpose, or you need to realign the company, which is a change to the way of doing things. In this case, the reorganization was very fundamental, because the internal organization, the competitiveness, the rivalry really was rooted deep within the organization. So there needed to be a fundamental change also in the goals and in the business model. And as I said, they changed some of the goals. Then there is the nature for change. So is it incremental, which is it phased over time, the change to implement, or was it a big bang change, which is a fast change, all in once, all at once? In this case, it was a big bang change. So as I explained in the first video, where I explained chapter 2 of exploring strategic change, big bang changes oftentimes have a lot to do with or with competition. In this case, Apple and Google, and because of Apple and Google, Microsoft needed to change fast. So they had a big bang dimension as well as a transformation dimension. So if we see transformation and big bang, you can see that the company had to choose the change path of revolution. So they also appointed a new CEO, which means that they divided the change roles. and they appointed a change champion, which is one person that is responsible for the change and for the implementation of change. A pro being that he can create drive and determination, and a con being that the leader may not be credible or competent. In this case, we can now analyze the success of Microsoft and the implementation of change. And he has done it successfully, so we can say that he has driven the organization, has proven to be credible and to be competent. So, thank you very much for your attention. I hope I've displayed the links between the theory in the book and between the context in this strategic process, in this real life strategic case. So, thank you very much for your attention, and I hope you learned something. I certainly did, and I wish you the best.